Hello guys, okay, so now we're in episode 4, we're right on episode 4, and in this episode we're going to discuss how to hear spirits. Okay, now there's a thing that I have to say in the beginning. Again, like I say in all my videos, do not do this if you're not born with this, okay? Everybody's born with it though, but I'm saying if you have blockages and you don't hear and don't see, don't worry about it. This is not for you. Trust me on this, because if you do this, I cannot be responsible at the level that it comes, and a lot of people that try to do stupid things like that, and I say it's stupid because I have to really emphasize it, it could come all in one shot to you, and you will literally go insane. So don't do this at all. This is for people that already hear and might go in and out. They want to make out something, what's going on, something is troubling them, they're being tortured by this, and they're trying to make sense of it all. It's for people that already have some form of clairvoyance, some form of psychic ability. Okay, so I'm going to say that just, again in this video. So now we're going to go into this. How do you hear them and how do you hone in? Okay, with me, things are a little bit different. I was born like this. Since a kid, I was hearing things, and it was driving me nuts to hear a million voices of people. Because again, when they know you are a telephone, you're the only telephone that's out here to this world. So they're going to all want to contact you. Now, your job is how to hone in on just one person, okay? Or if you're hearing voices and it's all mixed up and jumbled up, that's because you're probably hearing more than one voice. That all sound the same, because again, their sounds is just like their images. They can make we are all energy. You understand? There's nothing physical, but in this dimension, that's how it works. We have the impression that we're physical, and they have the impression that, well, that they see themselves how it is, and that's energy. So guys, this is the way you got to look at it. How do you do this? Now, if you hear in and out, like something talking to you first in a whisper, something like that, something that does noises like that to you. Okay, they're trying to make wind. That's probably a newly person who just passed on, who's trying to learn how to talk. So what he does is he knows how to talk in his dimension, but how to talk here. So with wind, he needs to know how to talk like with a breath, even though they don't have breath, if that makes any sense. They make it in a wind type thing. So it sounds like they're breathing, but they're not. It's like a like that. So once they learn how to master it, you're going to hear them slowly saying, hello, hello. After they become really, really strong at it, you'll start seeing they develop voices in terms of like, hi, oh, like you guys could see my videos that I've shown the different levels of intelligence. Not that they're stupid, I'm saying intelligence in terms of how they discover these things. Now, your job, if you're being tormented by it, or let's say there's a spirit in your house that killed himself, and you're hearing noises, you can't go to sleep, you feel his pain, you're doing everything possible to cleanse your house and he's not leaving. That's not something I want you guys to bind, okay? They're not evil spirits, they're just living in a universe of their own that they made for themselves. Or they were murdered, and they're possibly even trying to contact you because they're looking for their killer. Some of them, their killer even died. Like I've met a person from the 1800s and also 1600s, and they're still looking for their killer. And I'm like, dude, your killer is not in this life. He's not here. Some of them don't even know they're dead. So again, they're living life. They're righteous. They're just giving off their pains. They might be crying. They might not even know you're here. They're like the suicide people. A lot of them don't even know you're here, and or even the ones that are murdered, and they're reliving everything, and they're hearing your voice. They're hearing a voice in their heads, like telling them, come, but they don't want to rest. So what happens is they don't even hear you, but they start crying. They start feeling pain, and then you start feeling pain. And it's a type of debuk that cannot be vanished, okay? They can't leave their house. Let's say a lot of houses are built on hallowed ground. People don't know this, but it's burial grounds. Forests, back in the day, they didn't do tombstones, so they had a tree planted for every person. So now you got to ask yourself, how many in the forest are trees that are actually like tombstones? So again, like when you build houses, you don't know what's underneath, and you cannot, unless you, people say salt and burn, do not do that to bones. Don't ever do that. Let them rest in peace, but you can't have a house built on it. Again, you cannot also bind them. Don't do that because they're righteous. They're not worthy of that. And I'm going to go into that in my other episode about the binding, which I'm kind of iffy about. I don't know if I want to do that because I know there's people that are going to be judge, jury, and executioner, and it's really not a power I want to give people loosely. But I don't know. We're going to talk about that. But the thing is, this is what it is. So you have to talk to them. You already see them or you already hear them. You have to talk to them to bring you peace. Again, this is not about conjuring people. None of my videos are about conjuring. I don't want people to take it the wrong way. Conjuring is a chilul against God. But in terms of sakanat chaim, or something that comes between your relationship with El HaKadosh and you need to do things to control the matter. Now, you could ignore it by moving somewhere else. That's fine. I look at it as me helping them, because when you can help these spirits move on, to me it feels good. It feels like I'm doing a good deed. And at the same time, I'm bringing myself peace. Okay, I've had cases where people were, houses were, on top of graves. And I went to these places and I spoke to them. I see them though, and I speak to them. And I told them that, they have nothing to do with it. There's nothing that they can do. They can't destroy the house. You got to explain it to them. Some of them will leave. But at the same time, their souls are irritated by it. And you have to explain it to them. Some of them will even stay in the house, because spirits are in your house whether you like it or not, and will help you. Like one of my cousins had a spirit that was always helping them. And it was a woman who every time she was crying, my cousin, the spirit came to comfort her. So it's like, I'm not talking about conjuring the dead here. Don't ever do that. Never disturb the peace. But if they're talking to you, you need to figure it out, because otherwise you will not have peace in your house. It could cause things from attacks on shalom bayit, which could make a husband and wife fight. I had a boyfriend and girlfriend living together, a husband and wife living together, who were fighting when they were really in love. And when I told them how to do cleansing techniques, suddenly, they're back together. And that's really what it comes down to. It's shalom bayit. It's a bunch of things. You have no idea how many levels are in this dimension, in the next dimension. It's mind-boggling. So this is for you guys, okay? So when you want to do something to hear and get in, so that's like the disclaimer. Now, when you want to do something and hone in, this is all you got to do, okay? I want you to sit in a quiet room, okay? Quiet completely, be totally relaxed, at peace. You could stretch if you want, do some stretches, do any type of things, do that meditation I told you in the other video where you go and imagine the blue dot, collecting all your pains. Make yourself at such peace, okay? Then I want you to hear the wind, okay? And hear within the wind. It's like when you want to see a spirit, I say see in the air and see within the air. It's the same thing. You hear and you hear within the wind, okay? Now you got to make sure that it's not an hallucination, right? What happens is you got to make sure you ask questions. If the questions are answered correctly to you, then you know it's legit. If, let's say, you're asking him, how old are you? And he tells you sandwich, like those idiots with the Oculus. I mean, not Oculus. What the hell was that called? Some stupid device that claims to conjure shit, which I proved already. I was telling people that it's bullshit. They didn't believe me. They did a study, and then they figured out I was correct. It's all bullshit. I'm not talking about these idiots that go around haunted houses and look for that. I'm talking about if you have an issue, you do this. You hear within the wind, okay? Hear the wind. Then hear within the wind. As you are, close your eyes and meditate. You'll start feeling that you're being watched, okay? Because that's the reality of it. After that, you're going to start feeling that somebody is right near you. You're going to start feeling something right in your ear. Something is going to sometimes talk. And you're going to say, I need to be at peace. Please tell me what's going on. If anyone here is trying to contact me, this is why it's dangerous to say this. If anybody here was before trying to contact me, let them speak now. In my ear, I want to hear what's going on. A couple of times, if they're newly passed, it would take a long time to do. It's just impossible, really. It's really hard. If they've been around for a long time, they're going to start to talk. You're going to hear wind. You're going to start hearing their words. You're going to start putting words together. I could lip read when I see them, but if you can't see and you hear, I could hear and see now. But, like, if you can't see, you can't lip read. You know what I mean? So you need to depend on your ears. You close your your eyes and just lose focus of this world completely. Lose it of this dimension and imagine your spirit leaving the body. Okay, now, sorry, let me start off. First, make an aura around your body. Okay, some kind of, aura, a ball around your body, a protective shield. Then do that, okay? Because then you don't want fucking debooks and all that crap coming into your body. Again, it's not going to happen because you're still in your body, you're just projecting, okay? So it's a totally different story, but just in case, I recommend also that before, when you do things like that, that you do a cleansing, which is in my videos, you guys can see in my past videos, not in this episodic series, whatever episodic series, but in the other ones. Just look in my cleansing video and just do that right after you do something like this. Anyways, so you project yourself, okay? Project yourself sitting, because you're sitting down on the floor. Collect energy from the earth, okay? You're sitting on the floor, and you imagine your spirit getting out of your body and sitting on the floor. You are not looking, you are not seeing, do not imagine. Clear your mind. No imagination whatsoever. Okay? Let them talk. Then just hear with one ear on your flesh side and then on your projection. Here. That's how you hear within the wind. You understand? Now, you'll start hearing words, and you'll start hearing things. Sometimes they want to test you. Sometimes they're evil entity, little dick fucks. So what they're going to do is they're going to tell you a bunch of bullshit. You're just concerned. You're not concerned about anything else. You're concerned about how do you bring yourself peace. So you tell them, guys, I am, I can't live like this. I don't want to bind you. I don't want to, do binding spells. I don't want to do spells. Binding. I don't want to, kick you out, with the purifications that I taught in my other videos. You tell them that. You say, I want to resolve this in a peaceful manner. So I'm letting you guys know I need to know what's going on. Okay? Now, it's going to take you a while because you can't do this on the first try. You're going to hear probably a word, and then you'll hear 3 words. So it takes time. Take your sweet-ass time doing it, okay? And every time, speak to the wind, speak to the air here, and just say, guys, please give me some peace. I am trying to communicate with you. Give me some time to figure this shit out, and I'm going to communicate with you, okay? And slowly, slowly, you're going to start developing, get sentences, okay? And then don't try to assume they don't like spirits, especially ones that are pissed off, like they've been murdered or something. God knows what kind of spirit you have in your house. But if you start to assume and say, let's say the guy goes, I've been, I think I've been killed, okay, and he died from some disease, and then you start going, oh, your father killed you, your mother killed you, he's gonna get ticked off, okay, or she's gonna get ticked off. So don't assume stupid things. Or even if, let's say, they died by getting shot, or let's say they died from natural causes and they don't even know they're dead, and then you're like, so how did you die? Don't even say those words. Some of them don't even know that they're dead. And again, if you can't communicate, they're gonna take it wrong and cause you anguish. Okay, so I don't want any of that. All right, so what I'm telling you is just be a listener. Don't assume. Listen. Say, okay, explain. Okay, tomorrow, when you feel a little drained, okay, tomorrow we're going to start this again, okay? All right, come tomorrow, do it, but stick to your schedule. Don't let them make the schedule, because once you allow them to do that, you're their bitch. Do not do that, okay? So tomorrow, once you're done, tomorrow, then you do it tomorrow. The next day, and then until you start to develop what's going on. In the end, you could look shit up on the internet and say, wow, these guys are legit. They're real, And, but you could just see, some of them are from way back when that you're not going to get any background information on them. But who cares? I mean, the point of this is not to conjure. I don't conjure. I try to ignore them as much as possible because they got to live their lives. I got to live mine. But when things bother you, when I go into homes, I got to do this because I got to see what the hell's going on. So if you guys are already getting messages and you can't connect them, this is what you do, okay? Meditation, projection, hearing with the flesh, hearing with the projection, hear within the air, hear the air, and hear within the air, and you will start to develop your skill more and hone into it, and that's it. And that's really all this is about. I'm sorry for the long disclaimer, but I got to really put emphasis on this. I have a brother actually that told me Leo, is your episode's going to be about conjuring? And no, it's not about conjuring. You're not supposed to interrupt the ones that rest, or the ones on the next dimension. But if they are bugging your life and they are causing harm to your life, even if you're not clairvoyant, you should do something about it. But I don't recommend doing that to open yourself up, because once you do, there's no closing it. I'm letting you guys know. So like I explained in my other videos, and please watch that in the other episodes, you can't do that. So, and I'm going to do a last episode, and I'm going to be talking more about the disclaimer, because I need to really emphasize what not to do. Okay, so this thing is for already what's already in your house. Already what is in bothering you. Already what you're already hearing, for people that already can hear, but they're hearing, they're not honing into it, but they're hearing different types, and they're already opened. Okay, there's no blockages. They're open to it. They just need to hone in on it, because it's coming whether they like it or not, and they can't make any sense of it. And you know, it's a good thing. So you'll figure it out. So anyways, do me a favor, like, subscribe, dislike, whatever you want. Comment definitely below. Let me know if I'm helping you, if I'm not being clear. I could be clear more and do other videos. But definitely, I did these videos. I'm doing these episodes because apparently a lot of people want to kill themselves. And again, I'm saying this in every episode. I don't want you guys to kill yourselves. I promised I was going to do an episode series, and this is what I'm doing right now. I don't want you to kill yourself, and I want you to just understand that the Lord, El HaKadosh, God of all, of the universe, of everything, the Lord, El HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God of Abraham, blessed be his name forever, the only God, gave you these abilities for a reason, okay? And that is to help everybody, no matter what you do. You're chosen, whether you're chosen to be a doctor, chosen to be, you know, anything. You're chosen that way. You are chosen to do this, okay? Or among other things. This is what you were made for, okay? I look at it as sometimes as a curse, and I see it as a blessing sometimes. To be honest, it is a blessing. Everything you get in life is a blessing. You know, Baruch Dayan Emet, and that's really what it comes down to. And you guys have to understand that this is what it is. So don't try to kill yourself if you're tormented. Like I said, I did these episodes to explain to you how to control it. And the other episode, I taught you guys how to even shut it off. Okay, and how to shut this off is very easy. If you're just a hearer, person who hears, very easy. Just do not do the meditation. Do not do that. And then you'll still kind of hear it in your sleep when you're drifting off. But always ignore them. When you ignore them, it goes away eventually. Okay, that's it. So this is actually the easiest to shut off. But you know, not if you're not a clairvoyant and you do that. If you do that, you're going to be fucked when it's coming to you at full blast. So please do not do that. But that's basically what it is in a nutshell. Now, if any of you guys have questions or problems or whatever, let me know. I'll make more episodes about it. But this is the 4th episode. It's not the final. I'm going to do the other episodes as well. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, dislike. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.